Hey there, loyal listeners slash viewers. It's your boy Germ, and you are tuned into another episode of Kinetic Aesthetic. Before we jump right into it, before I get you all to the main meat of this episode, I just wanted to say, of course, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for choosing to give me some of your time, and also just thank you for being you. Today's episode is all about the Chicago Bears, where me and my homeboy Julian, we just sat there and talked about the Bears draft and just some other news that was happening around the NFL offseason. Just a sports conversation. So for all those of you who have been missing more sports content out of me, just know that going forward, I'm going to try to get these a little bit more frequent. I got one coming up on the NBA playoffs that I want to do because there's been a lot of interesting stuff happening there and just interesting stuff happening all over the sports world. But without further ado, I'm going to step aside, let you get a word from a few of our sponsors, and then after that, you'll be into the main meat of the episode. So once again, thank you all so much for giving me your time and tuning in, and get yourself some popcorn and get ready because you're going to have a nice long conversation about why the Chicago Bears are getting ready to take the world by storm. Yo, this is your boy Germ, just checking in to make sure that I remind you, in case you ain't know so already, go and stop what you're doing. Go and just take a moment, go and search up Kevin Wayne on whatever streaming platform that you're listening to me on. Whether it be Apple Music, whether it be Spotify, whether it be whatever. Chances are his music, especially the latest singles he's dropping from his latest project that's going to be coming out soon called Storm, is going to be out available to you right now. He's already dropped CSF, Heat. He's already dropped Harder, Heat. He's already dropped Fallen, Heat. The Heat's all out there. So if you haven't listened to it yet, stop sleeping. Just stop sleeping for me for a second. Go over, open up that search bar, type his name in. Once again, it's Kevin Wayne. You can find him on Instagram at Complete Kevin. Stop what you're doing. Go search this man up and go find his shit. Once again, shout out to Kevin Wayne. Storm coming soon. Shout out to the whole Melting Point group. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been listening to the show from day one, I think you already know about Body Butter. One of the dopest products made by one of the dopest people I know, and I know a lot of dope-ass people, and I just came here to tell y'all, you'll need to buy it if you haven't already. Yes, when I first started promoting it, Body Butter just had a couple of scents, couple of sort of more female-oriented scents. I'm here to tell you right now, shit's not the same anymore. She's got a whole bunch more men's scents. She's got a whole bunch of different collections that she's either working on or she's got out right now. I'm telling you right now, get in tune, stop sleeping. Make sure you go and check out her over at Instagram at Body Butter. That is butter with two A's at the end of it. Just go check this shit out. This shit keeps my skin silky smooth. I don't have to do too much. It will last you a good long fucking minute. It's everything that you need in a better Vaseline and a better lotion type of product. Stop sleeping. Go get you some Body Butter right now. Go make sure you follow her again over at Body Butter on Instagram. That's Body, BODY, BUTTAA. Make sure you go check her out. And once you DM her about your order, just make sure you say, Germ sent you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mr. and Lady, it's your boy Germ, and I'm in a good mood today because I'm excited to talk to you all about my Chicago Bears and how they have killed the 2023 offseason. Now, you're going to hear about a lot of hype for a lot of different teams if you're an NFL fan over this offseason. You're going to hear about a lot about the Baltimore, how they got Lamar Jackson re-signed. You're going to hear a lot about how the Texans traded up and got two blue-chip prospects in the top 3 picks.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. And I'm joined, of course, by my homeboy, the one, the only, the founder, the CEO of Stonerville Brand Clothing, of course, Sir Juicington, Juice God.
Yo, in the place to be.
But we're going to mainly focus on the Chicago Bears One, because we love them, they're our team, and we stick to winners. And number two, because they just did a lot of interesting shit.
Yeah, they
For a
by
team,
far had the best off-season.
in my opinion, yes, in my opinion, and honestly, I think it's honestly it's hard to debate. We at least had a top five. Now,
Oh, for sure.
Now, we walked into the offseason with the number one overall pick. We didn't have a great season. We did have a majority of our losses come within one score, so do with that what you will. So it's not like we were getting blown the fuck out every time.
Mm-hmm.
But we weren't good. We only had one real positive of that whole season last year. That was Justin Fields' development. He actually showed some promise and poise. You know, even when everything was going wrong, we at least were able to look towards him making highlight plays every year. And
every week.
Oh, I'm sorry. Every year. Yeah. That's y'all can back in my mind right now, y'all. No. But we had that. And going forward, it's looking like if we want to have any chance of real sustained success, we were going to need to build around this guy. We were going to need to actually invest in him, put some type of effort into making that he had support. And I don't know about you, Juice God, but I feel like we did that.
Oh, we 100% did that. I feel like so at the end of the season, the media, the national media was going crazy about trading Justin Fields. And I don't know why. It was like everybody that had some type of voice, except a small few. There was a small few that were believers.
It was all the big wigs, like everybody big that you would think would know better. Even like, I'm a Skip and Shannon guy. I watch Undisputed a lot. I was crazy to me to hear them every time they would talk about the Bears, and they don't talk about us a lot. They would love to talk about trade Justin Fields. He came out and said something about them building a new stadium in Arlington Heights. This was already like a known thing, and he was talking about how that would be great if I was in a dome. You know, the winter elements, they can get to you sometimes. Motherfuckers was saying we should trade him because he said that.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like, he was advocating for a new stadium, which I think ownership is also advocating for. So it's not like everybody's not on the same page with the new stadium. The stadium will be built to be determined, but it's for sure. Like, everything is pointing to the trajectory to get a new stadium, just because for the first time in a long time, the Bears actually seem like they want to come up. And when the Bears are on the come up, that's good for the NFL, because the Bears, probably next to the Cowboys, probably the Patriots and Packers, are like
top 5 most valuable teams, and we are top 5 most valuable. Like that's you can check us in Forbes. That's a fact. And it's like you said that about that new stadium and how they should be building a new stadium. This is the first time in what feels like maybe since Walter Payton that we have a legitimate box office attraction on the offensive side of the ball. Now, you can point to maybe Devin Hester, but I'm sorry, he was a punt returner. Yeah. Like, this is the first time since Walter Payton we've had somebody that motherfuckers will just say, hey, I don't know how good the rest of the team is. I don't know if I'm going to see like a great team or a great football game. I want to see Justin Fields play.
Yeah,
I want to go see what he's going to do.
Justin Fields made like when they lost that game against Washington, even though it looked like a bad game just from like a scoring standpoint, Justin Fields was making plays, and he really showed a lot of toughness in the game because he was getting hit a lot. He made a lot of nice throws to not so good receivers. And even on the last play of the game, if Darnell Mooney holds the ball, they win that game. So, you know, in hindsight, I think it was best that they lost the last 10. But, you know, they came back the next week against the Patriots, and everybody thought that Justin Fields was going to be, you know, they like to call him busting Fields, but he did not bust that night. Well, he busted, but it was on the Patriots.
Hey, chill out. I got sponsors. But nah, you know, you actually right, because that Patriots game was literally his breakout game. I remember right going into that. That was when that was the maximum point of when everyone was saying he's a bust. He's not going to work out.
Yeah.
They're fucked up.
Yeah.
And little do you
at
know,
that point, Jay was like, I remember that time because everybody was like, well, this is not this regime's quarterback, so da this and da that. It's like, man, can y'all just let the man play the season out? And then he had that game against Miami. Really, it started in Minnesota. That's where I feel like or was it the Cowboys game? It was one of them two games where he like really showed flashes of like being great. I think it was the Minnesota game, and then he came back with like the Cowboys.
He just put on a string of games. I feel like it was
Yeah, he did.
I don't remember when it was. I think it was literally up until that injury that took him out for the rest of the way. He was just killing. He really didn't have too many bad games.
He didn't close out drives, which is, I think, a lot of people's gripes with him because he has a losing record. But if you look around the team he had the last 2 years, his first 2 years, no quarterback is going to have a winning record like that. You feel me? Peyton Manning threw like the most interceptions his rookie year.
It's funny you said, because that's something I wanted to segue into. People do want to make all these comparisons about how he's a bust. He's got no upside as a passer. You hear all the talk about we should have took Bryce Young, despite everybody saying all this shit about, oh, Bryce Young is so small, he might not last. You got all these people that were saying, oh, he's better than Justin Fields, and all this and that. It wasn't even C.J. Stroud. If you would have said that, maybe I would have understood. But I'm getting ahead of myself.
Well, there's a stigma with Ohio State quarterbacks. You know, Ohio State quarterbacks really don't ever fit the mold of an NFL quarterback, just because they're more so like athletes playing the quarterback position. I feel like Justin Fields, when he was at Ohio State, he was a quarterback playing a quarterback position. Like, you know, his high school days, it was him and Trevor Lawrence.
I feel like I feel like the Ohio State quarterback thing is starting to get a little bit. It's like jumping the shark, because I feel like at this point, Ohio State quarterbacks aren't doing just Ohio State quarterback. They're not just playing the college style anymore. The coaches at Ohio State have them. There's a reason why they keep drafting Ohio State quarterbacks in the top picks.
Yeah, for sure. I think it started with RIP my man. What's his name?
RIP him, and I excuse us for not being able to remember his name because this is a little bit rude. I want to say not Cardale. Cardale.
No, it's not that. It's like something with a D. Well, I forget. Because he had such a short-lived career.
He did. You
know, I think it started with him showing that he could play quarterback. I don't think he really got a fair shake. But then Justin Fields came in. You got to remember, he came from Georgia. So,
and for the record, it was Dwayne Haskins that we were referring to.
Yes,
RIP to Dwayne Haskins. Sorry.
Dwayne Haskins definitely was the first. Everybody before him was probably like, you know, an athlete playing quarterback. But he didn't get his fair shake, and then Justin Fields came in, and he just changed the whole thought process about Ohio State quarterbacks. And I remember when he was drafted, I was skeptical because he was an Ohio State quarterback. But when you look behind the scenes of him, he's been like a quarterback prodigy since he was like a junior in high school.
Exactly, and he started out at Georgia. So it's the same way some people like to try to credit Joe Burrow as an Ohio State quarterback when it fits their narrative. You can credit Justin Fields as a Georgia quarterback the same way you can credit, like, you can look at it.
You can do the same with Jalen Hurts. There's a lot of quarterbacks out here that you could credit, you know, but the transfer portal made things a lot easier for these colleges to make these switches at quarterback.
Right. But to get back on topic, I do want to ask you before we go any further. I know that I wanted to get into the Bears draft, and we're going to get into a high depth, real in depth. But I just want to ask you right quick: how do you feel about the Bears passing up on taking Jalen Carter and just going one pick down.
Yeah, that one kind of, I don't know how I felt about that because, yes, it's Jalen Carter. And when I saw he was still there, it was like, wow, I didn't expect that to happen.
I did.
But it stings. But at the same time, it's like, y'all want a defensive player, but y'all also tell them to protect Justin Fields. So they did what y'all asked, and y'all still unhappy because Jalen Carter kind of fell into y'all laps. And I get it. He was a sexier pick, but I think Darnell Wright is the right pick.
The only reason why I get it is because I definitely feel like Jalen Carter has he has a real way to get this shit. He has a real potential in him. I'm sorry, excuse me. I was reading this chat in here. We have an audience member in here who's leaving some silly messages. We have a real way. He has a real potential to be like a game breaker. He came in like, if we would have kept the number one pick and picked him, I wouldn't have been upset. That's how much that's the hype I've seen.
That's the hype that was behind him.
Right. When I watched the Beast, I watched the national championship game, and I watched some Georgia highlights of him. Just to
he
get
wasn't
the hype.
Really a factor. I don't know if it was because of injuries or what, but
they say
like a lot of people were going off. Yeah, he takes plays off for sure. But when you that dominant, I mean, it's expected that you are going to take some type of play off because you're going so hard all the time. But I really think he needs to be around people that can make him better. And we didn't really have that on the D-line. I feel like, yeah, you have Jalen Carter, but Jalen Carter was also next to, like, other round one prospects. So, him and Philly, I low-key hating on Philly right now just because they had probably the best drafts I've ever seen. Like, they literally had, like, no misses, in my opinion.
He's in the perfect position because everything you just said. He needs to be in a position where he's going to be around people that are going to make him better and push him. Right. You're on the fucking defending NFC champs. They've got a built-in. Still got Fletcher Cox in there. You got two Hall of Fame motherfuckers who you're going to be able to learn from, get upskilled from. They're going to be a unit. Yeah. This is like that GM over there needs to get a fucking statue of him made because he's making moves that just don't make sense. They still got fucking DeAndre Swift in the draft, so they got another good fucking piece at running back. It doesn't make sense right now how they're able to do what they're doing.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, how's they making all these trades and all these Swift moves?
Like, but it couldn't have went to a worse team for us to have to actually give Jalen Carter to because, like, anywhere else he might fuck up. He might have like some character issues or just like, you know, motivation issues. Now I don't know if you necessarily have to worry about that because he doesn't even have any pressure to do anything for the first year.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't have the pressure that he would if he was in Chicago. I think Darnell Wright was just the pick that needed to happen for the Bears, just from Justin Fields' standpoint and from the running game standpoint.
I watched some tape on him. He looks nasty.
Yeah, his highlight tape was pretty decent. But yeah, Jalen Carter definitely stings. It wasn't the sexy pick. I can say that.
But at the same time,
he's still going to be good.
Right. At the same time, we were also able to get another. I heard good things about the defensive tackle we got out of Florida in the second round. So it's not like we got another second piece. Just since we talked about the second round picks, we had a good start to the draft because I feel like we did exactly what we needed to. Everybody knew if we were going to do anything on offense, let's focus on the offensive line. You go top 10, you get the guy who, Will Anderson, the top defensive player taken. He already said that's the dude who gave me the most trouble and this is a nigga from Alabama. You already know how Alabama players is. They're basically NFL players already.
Yeah.
So if he is saying this type of praise about this dude, I have a lot of hype for that. Then you go in the second round, you go and get some more defensive help with the cornerback. His name was Tyreek Stevenson. Then you go and get Gervon Dexter Sr., defensive tackle out of Florida. That's what you want to be doing.
Yeah. I think as a whole, he filled pieces that needed to be filled, and because they didn't go after no edge rushers, it really people don't like the draft, but he addressed the D line. So as even if we don't have like a stud on the defensive line, the rotation is pretty nasty. Like
Exactly.
he said in his post press, he was basically saying that you want to keep the D line fresh because you don't want to just have them working, because the D line next to like the O line, the D line is probably working the hardest out there because they have to always force contact with another person. So if you can keep that rotation fresh and have everybody just contribute, that's just as good as having like one superstar player on your D line. Like having a bunch of fresh guys that can wear down the offensive line in different ways. Although I don't think we're going to be great on defense still unless we get like a Yannick Ngakoue or
unless somebody develops.
We got free agents that we can still target. Like I want Frank Clark or Yannick Ngakoue. I think Yannick would fit better as far as like a real like pass rusher. But Frank Clark would bring like a decent veteran leadership that the Bears could use, especially from a championship standpoint, because he just won a championship again with the Chiefs. Right. So he can bring like that element of the veteran leadership to a young defensive line. They still got a bunch of players that's no older than like 27, so they could use somebody like that to teach them how to be a good to great NFL player, because Frank Clark was definitely one of them.
I agree. I think we can definitely afford to get some veteran leadership on the defensive side. I think we already have some good pieces. We got the dude from Philly. I've heard a lot about him, how he was a good little piece. He was like a real big, important piece of their defense, and we were able to
Edwards
him away.
Nice.
We got Tremont Edwards. I liked him ever since he came out in that draft a couple years ago. I've always liked him on Buffalo. So I think the defense is going to be, like you said, they're not going to be, I'm not expecting them to come out and be top 5. But if we can go from being like a bottom half defense to even at least being middle of the road, like middle of the road to like borderline top 10, that can go a long way in helping us out.
Yeah, I think we could be top 10 just because last year our defense was injured. Like there's a lot of corners missing time, and I think he really addressed that in the draft. He took 2 corners and a safety. You can never have enough DBs because DBs get hurt a lot. They get like tweaks and shit like that. So I think that's good to have as much DB depth as possible. They still got some players that you can still play from last year. It's going to be that's going to be a good like competition battle at the start of training camp, the DB.
I agree.
The DB room and the running back room is super deep. So, and the wide receiver room, it went from very thin to very deep, like both.
I think our wide receiver room, because the wide receiver room now, everybody is going to be able to fit where they're supposed to be. You've got Darnell and you've got Chase Claypool who are going to fight for that number 2. DJ Moore is your number 1. You have the number 1. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to make somebody be something that they're not. He's going to be able to like dictate the coverage that he's going to deserve, and that is going to open up so much space. Now Darnell Mooney can actually be able to just fly down the field.
Now Darnell Mooney is great in the middle of the field because he has good hands and good route running. So I think him being in a true slot position where he could catch the short routes is definitely going to increase just his catching percentage. Like he's probably going to go back to being like 1,000-yard receiver. And Claypool, he's a good deep ball guy. So if you could get him down the field in one-on-ones, I think he's a good 50-50 guy. And then
you haven't even mentioned
DJ Moore is DJ Moore. Like he's been the number 1 with subpar quarterback play. So if you get him Justin Fields, you add an 1,000-yard receiver automatically to whatever Justin Fields can do. And if Justin Fields was healthy the whole year, he probably would have got to like 20. I think he finished like 2,200 passing yards. He could have got like 2,800 passing yards, but he lost Mooney. He got hurt himself, and then he lost Claypool for a certain point after Claypool had just got there. So he really didn't have no help when he was facing people like Philly and Buffalo, but he still gave them teams as much as they could handle by himself.
Exactly.
Shout out to Cole Kmet, because I think Cole Kmet definitely is going to be like the next like great tight end in the NFL.
We got the tight end from the Packers too.
Yeah, Tanyan's gonna be nice. Tanyan was nice when he was healthy in 2020.
I think with two like respectable pass catching tight ends now, we're gonna be able to run a lot more 2 tight end sets. That's gonna be
sure.
Then it's just gonna help us out so much more because it's always felt like we always just have one tight end and then we just have a couple. Like it's been a long time since we had at least Greg Olsen and Desmond Clark. You know what I'm saying? It's been a while since we've had 2 respectable tight ends.
For sure. I think this tight end core is going to be one of their stronger ones. The offense in general is just going to be so much better than it was last year. So I don't think the offense will let us down as much because there's so much talent across the board now. The offensive line is pretty sturdy. The running backs, you got so much depth at that position that, you might have some people playing special teams. You might have some people getting some reps as like a receiving back. Khalil Herbert, hopefully he could continue his high yards per carry average, but we'll see. The more carries you get, the less your average is going to be usually.
The more the defense knows they're going to have to focus on you too.
But that's the thing, like they can't focus because they're going to keep switching out these backs. Each back is different. Like Khalil Herbert is a speedy, like one cut back. You got Donta Foreman, who's just like a good power back that can also make a couple moves. I think Roshan Johnson. I don't know. I don't really watch college football, but every account, everybody's saying that he could have been like the best player, like one of the best running backs in the draft if he wasn't playing behind Bijan. So that's very encouraging. Like maybe if he waited another year, he could have been a top, but like a second round into the first round running back.
What that just means to me is that if he wasn't playing behind this guy, he'd have more touches. So he's coming in even more fresh than he would have been.
Oh, for sure. And a fresh running back is always a good thing.
Exactly. So that's not a bad thing to me. So
I think when it's all said and done, that the Bears will have a top 5 offense with maybe like a top 15 defense. Justin Fields might not have to run 1,000 yards again. I think people misunderstand how much he had to run for his life. Now that he doesn't have to, and he can sit in the pocket. If you watch his Ohio State film, that man is a great pocket passer. Like he can make some crazy plays in the pocket if you give him the time.
If you give him the time.
Yeah, I think with the wide receiver position, like we already talked about the big 3, but there's some and that's not going to get as many reps as them that could still be very, very productive. I think Bayless as a straight line receiver could be pretty good. Switch it up when maybe Claypool is tired. You can put him out there and he can run some go routes. And then Tyler Scott, I think that's his name, right? Tyler Scott. Everybody's saying he could have been a second round pick this year. So who knows what his like potential is. I think he might have a really good floor. Some people saying he could be like a T.Y. Hilton type.
What I will say about this draft, I feel like every selection we made was the right sort of, we went for the right position at the right time.
Yeah. Nothing was like overreached.
I like that we got a wide receiver in the middle rounds. We didn't sort of just go over aggressive for like everybody. JSN would have been a sexy pick, but I felt like he would have been a reach.
Right.
If we would have just like got him at 10, or if we would have been trading back, and then you start playing just funny games with it. So
yeah, I think he took it serious. You could tell that he really wanted to make a change.
Right.
Ryan Poles definitely is a breath of fresh air. The fact that he came out to the media after every draft was over speaks volumes to him as like a high character guy.
I agree. All in all, if I have to give it a grade, honestly, I'm gonna have to say, for right now, I'm gonna just give it a B. I'm gonna give it a B plus. How about you?
Yeah, I'll say B plus for sure, with
Okay.
potential to be an A plus draft. But next year is where we really gonna shine. Like, there's so much we could do next year.
It
Two
really
first
is.
round picks.
We still got a lot. We still got a lot of just potential to just like make this team so much better. And
Yeah,
Justin Fields goes crazy this year. We can do what it takes because people are already making a big hype about Marvin Harrison Jr. and how he's going to be just this amazing receiver. People are already saying he's going to be a top 5 pick. We could go get him. It could be a Julio situation where fuck it, the rich get richer. We just trade up, go get him, and then next thing you know, we're bodying everybody.
yeah,
So-
that's my pick. Fingers crossed for Marvin Harrison Jr. But I think as the college football season we'll start to see who's like those guys. Now, like I said, I don't watch college football, so I don't really know the cream of the crop in every position. But if Justin Fields perform, we definitely won't have to worry about quarterback. I can tell you that.
Right. And that's all I want to. That's all I want to just not have to worry about is just know that my quarterback is good and that I don't have to be one of those teams that just has that dread and feeling of knowing that the rest of your team can be as great, but you just don't have that guy.
Yeah.
And speaking of
You
teams
need
that
that
don't have
guy.
to worry about that, let's talk about the Baltimore Ravens. After all was said and done, after all the BS that has went on, Lamar finally got his fucking money. $260 million, $181 million guaranteed.
Shout out to Lamar for securing the bag for sure.
Securing the fucking bag without
an agent.
No 3%. That's straight to him.
Nah.
All of that.
Yeah. And I think the holding out was probably the right thing. I think seeing what Jalen Hurts got, I think it reset the market.
Exactly.
Deshaun Watson. Yeah.
Well, the Browns.
Deshaun Watson messed up. Yeah. The Browns fucked it up by giving him a guaranteed contract, but it's not the first fully guaranteed contract. I mean, Kirk Cousins been getting guaranteed contracts since 2016.
But nobody had ever gotten like
$250 million guaranteed.
No. 284 million.
Who?
Deshaun's contract is worth 284 million.
Oh, because he still had the other year with the Texans, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, they definitely shit the bed in that one, but good for Lamar. I think Jalen Hurts definitely needed to get paid first or somebody needs to get paid first to reset the market. It just so happened to be Jalen Hurts, and it worked out for Lamar.
It really did.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him. Lamar has always been one of those players that is hard not to like.
Yeah.
He just comes through. He's exciting to watch. He's literally. I was quick to say this when we drafted Justin Fields. To me, he is Lamar Jackson, but a better passer. And not to say that Lamar Jackson is a bad passer because he's already proven before. He's led the league in touchdowns. He's already just had too many games where he's just had to literally just fling the fucking rock, and he's done it successfully. The man can throw. So
Justin Fields is a smoother passer than Lamar. Lamar throws darts. Like, he's just a hard thrower of football. But Lamar, as a football player, is too dynamic to not be paid. And I think Baltimore did the right thing because it looked like Baltimore character was really showing. Because, ever since that Joe Flacco, I don't think they like to pay quarterbacks. But you got to pay somebody like Lamar.
It's just so complicated, that situation with Baltimore, because I get it from their side. I really do. He hasn't had too many seasons where I don't think he has. He's maybe had 1 or 2 seasons where he's been fully healthy the entire way.
Yeah, and that was his first 2 years, I think.
So it's a lot to be going into that. Then you've got the style of play he uses. Then you've got all the other questions. Well, those are really just the main two things, and that's a lot. I mean, just your health and all that, and then you want it to be fully guaranteed. There's no doubt he probably wanted a little bit more than Deshaun Watson got. And knowing the fact that Deshaun Watson had all that bullshit to his name when that ink was signed on that contract, knowing that Deshaun Watson hadn't even played football in a fucking year and hadn't really proved shit.
Right.
That had to make him want to just sit out and be like, hey, just he probably even told him, just give me 284.1.
Well, you see that the contract was only like $5 to $10 million more than Jalen Hurts. Right. So he didn't want that much, but he did want to be the highest paid for sure.
And so I get it. It's crazy how it ended up in that situation because it was ugly. It was ugly for a second. It was people that was saying so many things about at that point they were going to need to trade him, that was the end of it, the end of the whole thing for Lamar in Baltimore. And I never thought it was going to get that deep or go down that route, but it was ugly. It was like, damn, are they going to be like, it was like when Kobe was talking about just trade me to the Bulls with the Lakers.
Yeah.
But
Lamar did what he had to do. He stood his ground and it worked out for him.
He did.
Stand your ground against these corporate societies.
And if you want to talk about another draft that I actually feel like is going to be really good in the long run and who also had a really good offseason now that they've secured Lamar, Baltimore gets Odell. So they not only get Odell Beckham Jr., there's still rumors of them being in talks to get wide receiver out of Arizona, D-Hop.
Oh,
DeAndre Hopkins, sorry. DeAndre Hopkins.
Nice. Hopkins is still a quality number one receiver.
And they drafted Zay Flowers in the first round. So you go from having basically all these questions about why do you not have any talent around Lamar at receiver? Why are you not having any help from him aside from one tight end who's an all-pro tight end, but still. Now you have Zay Flowers, who is one of the highest regarded wide receivers coming into this draft. Then you have Odell, who, regardless of what you want to say, he is coming off some injuries, but coming into another situation where he's going to have some help around him. He's going to have a Mark Andrews. He's going to have a Zay Flowers who should be able to work well with having a fucking legend at this point to learn from. So he's got a lot going for him. They've got a lot going for him on offense now. They went from just being one of those teams that you probably think, they can't do anything with running. All right, you got to have to respect the fact that Lamar, he's proven he can throw. We can stop all that bullshit about he can't throw, he can't do this, or he can't do that. He can throw. He's got receivers. He's not just trying to throw to Hollywood Brown anymore. He's got two, potentially three. Another one might be on the receivers.
Bateman might still be a quality receiver too. He's been injured a lot as well.
So there it is. So there's no talent, Baltimore has a lot of potential.
Baltimore, the AFC North is going to be a very dangerous division. I think AFC North and the AFC South is going to be the two best divisions in football. Just because Steelers got better. The Steelers, who knows, with Kenny Pickett, I don't know.
Steelers are never anything, but at least at worst they are mediocre. I'm just Mike Tomlin somehow finds a way to always avoid a losing fucking record.
Yeah, so, Mike Tomlin.
They're going to do it again. I'm just going to assume. So then you've got Cleveland, who might be the team that they have a well-built roster as long as Deshaun actually can pan out and can get back to even being half of what he was. That's a team you can't just scoff at. Then you still got Cincinnati, who's the fucking class of the AFC.
Yeah.
So part of the class. I mean, it's them in Cincinnati. And then you've got, it's like we're saying, you've got Baltimore. You can't. That's a hard division. That is going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, that definitely going to be a very good division to watch.
It is. But that's all I've really got to say about that one. Like I said, the Bears, I might have to give them a B. Is there anything else you want to touch on in the NFL? Anything that happened over this draft weekend, Julian?
No. Not off the top of my head.
I feel it. So like we said, this has been a great off season. You know, a great time to be a Bears fan. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of positivity and optimism in the air.
They could win the division as well.
They really could. Aaron Rodgers is gone. Ooh, I didn't talk about that. That's something that we're gonna have to talk. I'm gonna make a whole episode about that because I do want to just say fuck you, Aaron Rodgers. I'm gonna have to give you a special fuck you. Goodbye. Pause. And it's just gonna be so great because Minnesota's frauds. Minnesota are frauds. They've still got Kirk Cousins. I'm not worried about them at all. This is honestly the worst for the first time in a long time, maybe than the first time in my life. Detroit might be the team I'm most threatened by in the division. It might be Detroit because I still like the energy that Detroit has. I just like I like what they got going on over there.
Yeah, so they improved the most, but they also failed in the draft. So we'll see.
We will see. But
they had a terrible draft.
But with all that said, this has been Kinetic Aesthetic. I've been your host, Germ. My man, Sir Juicington, do you got anything else you want to say to the people?
Smoke weed, be high, and don't let these people get to you. Love yourself.
Those are beautiful words. That was a beautiful sentiment. And I agree with everything you just said. And on that note, I'm going to just say to everybody from around the world who is listening, to my people in Africa, to my people over in Australia, to my people in Europe, I love all of you. I hope you all having a great day. I hope you support the Chicago Bears. I hope you understand that Justin Fields he's great. I know you love Ronaldo probably over there in some of those other countries and Messi and all that shit. Just get a load of Justin
They
Fields.
love the Bears too, though.
I know.
Bears are very well respected overseas.
I know. Something about Chicago teams, we well traveled. But just make sure that you understand that the Bears are on the come up. We have been making some great moves. It was a very exciting weekend in the NFL. It's going to be a very exciting year, very interesting year, just seeing it. So first year without Tom Brady.
Crazy.
First year, my entire year of living without Tom Brady being my entire year being a, sentient, able to recognize thought human. That Tom Brady's not a starting quarterback. And that's crazy.
Yeah. I was 6 years old when Tom Brady wasn't a quarterback in the NFL.
Damn. That's sick.
Yeah.
But all right, everybody. I want to say again, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been Kinetic Aesthetic. I'm your boy, Germ. My boy's Juicington. We out. Have a good one.